Up. All right, so we're back here. Think plant-based.
We
Took a
are.
long break, but we're back at it again as usual.
Right, and we have great people on our guest today. Like
Yeah,
on our show today, I mean, guest today. All right. Hi, Brett and
Brett and
Diane.
Diane from Vegan Shop. How's it going?
Hey
Good.
guys, good. How are you?
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
we're
us.
we're good. Yeah, our
Pretty good.
pleasure. Yeah, so tell listeners a little bit about yourself and what business you guys run.
Okay. So we founded Vegan, VEGN, which is an online shop that sells plant-based food products. And I guess, do you want us to get into like how it started or?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, let's get into how it started and then how
Yeah.
you guys became vegan or plant-based if you want to talk on that.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty easy story to tell, really, in as much as my kids became vegan.
Oh,
So
okay.
it kind of it stemmed from them, to be honest. And Diane was fairly active in social media and was assisting my daughter to set up essentially what would you call it?
Um,
Online sort of vegan news portal.
yeah, I like just to show her what she could do with social media. Because she has a lot of interests and she wasn't quite sure like where to channel them. So, and one of them is she's really into movies and films and is a great reviewer. Like if you ask her about a film, she can describe it in detail and all this stuff. And I'm like, you need to put that out there. Like people are looking for this kind of thing. You know, people could use that. So I set up this Instagram account called Veg Times, and it was to report vegan news. And I actually wasn't vegan at the time, but since they were, I thought, this was a great way to show them what they could do with something like that. And through that account and through the pandemic, like seeing so much stuff online about, animals and cruelty and the planet and all this, I just one day decided I had to go vegan. I just felt like it was like sort of my responsibility and I couldn't eat meat anymore. And yeah, so that's how I became vegan. And then Brett also became vegan, kind of like to support us, but also for the planet.
Yeah. I guess my story is a bit different in as much as veganism for me wasn't so much through the animal cruelty side, and of course, not that I don't support that, but it came more from a lot of the vegan products that I'd had were sort of meat replacement, and a lot of them obviously aren't that good. And I guess Diane took me to Bali, and we went to Ubud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we went to some fantastic vegan restaurants in and around there, and I think that's when I discovered that maybe I was approaching the wrong way, and I should be concentrating on what I'm missing out on, but what I can find. And to me, veganism is about finding new flavors and new tastes, and
Exactly.
Right.
not worry about what I'm missing out on or what I can replace, but what I can find.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's totally how we see it too.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
find like we explored so many more things when we became vegan, be it like spices and all kinds of different flours. Like when you just eat like the standard lifestyle, you only know like certain flower species or in a way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
certain spices. But you explore so much more when you become vegan, we find. You know, even like the cuisine, right? You eat like different culture, like food, like from Japan.
Spices I've never had before.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like things like jackfruit and banana blossoms and, things we never would have touched if we had like meat options. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
for
been
sure.
really great. And thank goodness Brett can cook. So
Yeah, that helps, right?
he tests, like we test all our products before we put them online. Or we put them online and if we have it and we're not into it, we immediately take it down. Um, so, so like this morning we tried an egg replacement
Oh,
um, as an omelet, and it's really, and also it's great because it's, this woman out of, I think she's in Halifax, It does everything herself. You know, she makes the product, she markets it, she sells it, she ships it. Like, so we really wanted to support, we really want to support businesses like that.
Right.
And so it's so great that we found that product. That was really lucky. So we're always looking for kind of that local, small, especially with the pandemic, you know, like buying local and buying small.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And Brett,
Yeah.
you're from Australia, right? And Diane, you're from Canada. How did you guys meet?
Well, I was, how did we meet? I was just like,
It's complicated.
Well, Diane's a bit of a habitual traveller anyway,
Yeah.
so she eventually made her way all the way over to Australia.
yeah,
Nice.
I'm fortunate in that my work is remote. So my day job's like consulting, and I can work from anywhere. So I thought I'd go to Australia and just see what it's like. I'd never been, so I bought a one-way ticket, and yeah, then I guess 6 months into being there, we met, and then moved in together a few weeks later, and that was it from there.
It all happened pretty quickly. Well,
Yeah.
I hadn't been travelling for quite some time, and so basically all I did was jump on Diane's coattails because she seemed to be moving around a lot, and I thought that seems like a good option. So yeah, we were travelling through Asia together, and then obviously that stopped because of COVID, which obviously did for everyone. And then we had the added, I guess, issue of Diane was on a tourist visa, and a long-term tourist visa. And unfortunately, you have to leave the country and come back every 3 months. And COVID made that obviously a little bit more difficult, well, impossible. So then she had to come back to Canada. So the only way that we could really keep this going is the Canadian government seemed to be a little bit more, I guess, sympathetic to our plight.
Right.
Whereas let Diane in.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good time to come, and I've been to Canada before when I was quite young, and I thought, well, it's a good time to come back, and hopefully, you know, we can and start this business together and hopefully make a success of it.
Yeah. So the
Awesome.
business, while we were separated, and I had become vegan, and then I went grocery shopping, and it just took me forever. You know, had to stand there in the aisles and read every label, and was just like, this is ridiculous. I need a shop where I can just walk in and everything's available to me. So that's how it started. I belong to a lot of, you know, these women entrepreneur groups and women freelance groups online, and was putting the idea out there. And then around Black Friday, some woman from somewhere in Ontario was like pressuring me to open the shop because she wanted to shop. I had nothing. Like, I had no product. I didn't have a website. So overnight, I just put it together. You know, thank goodness I have a bit of a digital marketing background, so that wasn't impossible. We did that, and then it was, you know, it was such a blessing that she actually never placed an order, but it was just such a blessing that she was there to push me to just do it, and because nothing was really stopping me. It was just more, I think, you know, with these sorts of things, it's just more of your inner fears that stop you from launching things, but it's so easy to launch things digitally now. So, and the pandemic has, you know, it's so unfortunate, but I think it's really helped a lot of small online businesses.
Yeah, and I think because veganism is more of a community-based, I guess, approach to life, and you know, you can argue sort of there's extremes from one end to the other, but generally people who are vegan want to help each other and want to help each other find new things and find new ways to approach it and find access to new product. And so it's been quite encouraging, I guess.
Yeah.
For the client base are very active and engaged, and
They've been so supportive, and you know, they they've been really supportive. Even things like they'll make suggestions about how I can improve the website from.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
People really care.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Like they'll just reach out and be like, I love the look of your site. Just thought I'd like, I happen to work in IT and just thought I'd give you a few tips. And I'm like, yes, please, anything, and it just, I've been really surprised and delighted by how I don't know a lot of vegans, actually beyond our family.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to know that like they're out there and they kind of feel like family.
Right.
Um,
Where are you guys located right now?
Well, at this very moment, we are basically in a cabin in Quebec.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
nice. In the forest of Quebec.
We're-
Nice.
Very safe.
like we can't, because of lockdown, we can't do anything. So we're like,
Right.
well, why not just go to the countryside and just like be in snowshoe for a month?
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah, great
Best
idea.
better time.
So packed everything up, all the products into an SUV, drove it up here, and we're basically running the business out of here for until mid-March. But usually Toronto is
Right.
pretty much our home base.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that was
you-
probably my fault, to be honest, because obviously the snow's a bit of a novelty for me.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, right.
For a lot of people in Australia I met, it's like that. I mean, I love Australia, but I can imagine for them, they want to see like the snow and the cold.
Seasons, yeah.
I'm more the tropical person. I love like the weather in Australia, and whenever I am there, it's like very adventurous for me. But yeah, I'm sure you enjoy the snow now. It's like a winter
Yeah.
wonderland.
Yeah. So like he runs like 10K every morning in
Oh,
the
wow.
snow. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
thought I was somewhere in this family.
It's
Nice.
actually easier running in snow than it is running in 40 degrees, I can tell
Ah.
you, because I'm
Yeah.
done both.
Wow.
true.
Yeah, it's not as cold here. It's pretty mild.
Yeah, we're pretty mild on the west coast here.
The snow doesn't
Vancouver.
last that long here in Vancouver. No.
Yeah.
Usually it's snow and then it starts raining the
We had
next
a
day.
day of snow 2 days ago, and it was gone by like the next day because it just
Oh,
rained
yeah.
itself out. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
I guess
sorry, what was that?
you're from Vancouver originally, then.
Yeah.
Or
You're
Well,
from
I'm
Canada.
from around here in BC originally.
Yeah.
but
I
Julia's
grew up
from-
in Germany, Berlin, Germany.
uh,
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess we said about what was there ever a better time to be vegan? What do you guys think about that?
Well, that's an interesting question. It's a bit hard in some ways to answer because, obviously we sort of both become vegan now. But I think from the point of view of access to product and a genuine appetite from, I guess, whether it be small business or larger companies to facilitate products and services to vegans, but there probably hasn't been a better time up until this point, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like Brett mentioned, like the sharing of products and recipes and how to, a lot of people go online, they're asking for encouragement in terms of like, I want to go vegan, I'm finding it hard, like, how can I do this? So because we're such a digital world now, I think there isn't a better time until now to have gone, because people have access to other people who've done it before, and who know how to do it, where to get stuff, how to deal with even family who isn't vegan. Just having that support in every aspect.
yeah.
From the internet is just, it's like,
Yeah, look, I guess I'm old enough to compare it to vegetarianism. And the uptake of vegan options and vegan foods compared to vegetarian foods when vegetarianism sort of took off 30, 40 years ago. Really, most restaurants, one vegetarian option sat on the menu for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
then it finally became accepted. Whereas being vegan has become accepted within the space of 2 or 3 years. You know,
Right.
I can talk about Melbourne, and Melbourne's vegan restaurant.
Pretty good.
It exploded, you know, within 2 or 3 years. We realised that, you know, no pun intended, there's a genuine appetite for obviously the environmental side of it, but also the, you know, the animal cruelty side of it, and the general. It does make a lot of sense in all sorts of areas, really.
Totally.
Yeah, just makes sense, right?
It does, and you offering like an online shop, it makes it even easier for people. Like, there's no excuse, even if you live in the countryside, you know, you can order vegan products now by you guys. You know, let's say somewhere in the boonies in Canada,
There's
right?
no dry areas for vegan food, that's for sure.
So that's really great that you guys offer your online shop.
Yeah, we definitely. So in the last day, we launched a monthly subscription box, and
we saw that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's the way to go.
Overwhelming. And it's been a lot of people. I mean, it's for sure, you know, you get your Vancouvers, your Toronto, and your Montreals, but it has far gone beyond, you know, major metropolitan areas. So I just love that. Like, I love that everyone can get it now, you know. And so that's like exciting for me when I see like Prince Rupert come in, or Antigonish, or, you know, cities I haven't heard of. And yeah, I just love, like, now people are out there are like, oh, you know, finally, like, we have this, and we have the support too. I think that's so important, like, beyond having access to food. Like, if you have the support, it will just help the journey, you know, make it so much easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, you don't want to struggle as a vegan, you know, then it's not fun to be vegan. You want to make it easy, because like meat is so accessible, right? But we want to make vegan products be super easy accessible.
You want to make it the norm.
Yeah.
The new norm.
Yeah. I think the availability of pre-prepared products makes that transition a lot simpler than it could be for a lot of people, because obviously not everyone cooks or necessarily enjoys it. But it's very hard to go vegan if you've got to cook everything.
That's so true.
Makes it there is some prepared stuff out there, and that you can just sort of start bringing in your sides, so to speak, rather than have to come up with a whole meal from scratch, when you might not traditionally be much of a cook anyway.
Such a good point.
That's made things a lot easier for people.
Yeah, right. I sometimes forget about it because we both love cooking at home. Even with the pandemic now, we actually like enjoy making our home meal dishes, right? They're
trying
fresh.
to make a ramen.
Exactly, and we always love trying new products, but also new recipes, because that makes you also better at cooking, you know, when you always try new recipes. But we love new products too, and we are so really grateful to have you guys to talk about what you guys offer with your business online.
Yeah, fun is definitely finding, like, I really enjoy sourcing products and just being ultra critical about, you know, not only does it contain good ingredients, but where it comes from, who's making it, you know, who they are supporting as a manufacturer. You know, it's just that I kind of like really enjoy that challenge, because there are actually a lot of products out there, but not everyone cares about, you know, supporting grain farmers, or, you know, supporting women, or, you know, these sorts of things. And I think it's all our responsibility, in professionally and personally, to be doing that. So that's been you know, that's kind of opened my eyes as well when we're picking up products from the grocery store. Like, you know, the other day we're looking at sauerkraut. Like, do we buy the 250 sauerkraut that, you know, they pump out tens of thousands of daily, or do we buy the one that costs 5 times as much, but, you know, is made by some small business? And so, you know, we'll always go for the latter now.
Yeah, well, and luckily we're fortunate enough to be in a position to do that, and not everyone is. But look, I think the veganism movement is actually quite holistic in the way that everyone does seem to want to help each other, especially because most companies are startups, you know, except for obviously the larger corporations. Most people in the vegan supply chain are actually quite small in general because the industry hasn't really been around that long. So
Right.
it's nice to be able to cherry pick suppliers and support the people that A, have a good product, but B, have a more holistic supply approach to what they supply and how they engage with the rest of the community.
Right, you
Yeah.
definitely need the support, and like meat and dairy is like subsidized as well, right? We need that for vegan products. I hope one day we can achieve that, because we hear a lot of complaints that like vegan products are still so expensive, right? That's where the motivation is not that high for people to eat mostly vegan. But hopefully we get them cheaper eventually.
Yeah. Subsidized on fruits and vegetables. That's
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
say.
So people are healthier too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as the demand goes up, the supply inevitably gets cheaper. So I think we're sort of at the higher side of price, purely based on the amount of people,
just
the level of demand.
demand's
But
not there yet.
that's and I haven't seen the graphs or whatever on the uptake of veganism. You can only sort of look around your own community and talk to the people you know. And I'd have to say it must be, sort of on that level based on what I've seen in Australia
Right.
and the amount of products coming onto the market.
Yeah.
True. Do you guys have only like Canadian products, or are the products from all over the world?
Mostly Canadian, I would say.
Yeah, mostly Canadian.
Yeah.
Look, we try and source locally where we can, and obviously we try and do a best in class from the point of view of taste and price, and that they will vary depending on what we can get access to. We tend to have a lot of sweets on the site. That's probably my fault.
Nothing wrong with some sweets once in a while.
Why not? There's a high demand with sweets. I
Yeah.
notice whenever I meet people. That's actually where people sometimes go vegan, because they realize, wow, there's so many amazing vegan options. Like, I'm really good at making Nanaimo bars, and people find, wow, I can actually eat them now, and I don't feel heavy afterwards.
Right.
Because the traditional ones, I don't know if you know about Nanaimo bars, Brett.
Absolutely. Oh,
Do you?
The Canadian.
Oh, you know, that's like Canadian
Yeah, it's
dessert,
super
right?
Canadian dessert.
But it's like, I'm sure Diane can explain it to you too, but it's super heavy too, and
Super thick cream.
Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
is it like a...
I've never had the
I don't even
non-vegan
really know
one.
what's in it. It's just an
There's like-
Nanaimo.
There's like cream and
Chocolate.
butter, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But the
Fudge,
vegan
who
version
knows?
is usually much better to digest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably healthier for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys say to people that say, I could never be vegan, I'd miss out on all these yummy things that, you can't eat and things like that type people?
I guess, like I was saying before, I think people tend to focus on what they're going to miss rather than what they're going to find.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get sort of, locked in that sort of that continual weekly diet where, on Tuesday we have steak, on Wednesday we have this. When you go vegan, one of the things it does force you to do is look around for different things and change your palate and explore new things. And look, I think most vegans would be lying if they didn't say there's something that, I miss cheese, or I miss this, or I miss that. But that generally gets replaced by something you discover. And that's what I say. It's always out there you'll find that'll make those things sort of fade off into the
Disappear.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, I don't even remember what cheese tastes like, and I don't even remember what,
Or eggs,
pepperoni
right?
pizza tastes like. I just know this is what my pepperoni pizza tastes like, and I enjoy it.
And it
So-
tastes
Yeah.
better, and you feel better afterwards.
Yeah, I don't feel bad after eating it.
Yeah.
I feel light, so it works
Yeah.
for that way. You can always change your palate. I think we're all, just made out of bacteria, and we can change, what we like and what we don't like depending on if we keep eating it or not, right?
That's
I think
true.
our body will adapt to, craving those things. I used to not like sauerkraut or kimchi, and all of a sudden I crave kimchi
Or
once in a while.
vegetables,
Yeah,
right, even.
some vegetables, right? That I probably wouldn't normally eat. And I'm just like, oh, I really want to eat those. So
You crave more healthier foods when you actually eat like vegan healthy foods. You actually crave more what your body really needs, I find.
yeah, the healthier you eat, the more healthy you want to eat. And then the more junk food you start to introduce, the more junk food you want to start to
You
eat.
still can eat your candy, don't worry.
Yeah, I got a bunch of candy still
Yeah.
to eat.
But yeah, I think people worry sometimes too much. Yeah, for sure. But there's so many options. Sometimes people just need to be more open to see what actually options we have in vegan products, right? Like your online shop, or we have even a vegan store in Vancouver. There's actually so much to choose from. And sometimes you can even get overwhelmed. Like, what should we try first? So it's really nice that you guys offer the box, right? So
Yeah.
how does a box work, the monthly subscription one? Do you guys have everything already set up and then people can just order the box?
Yeah,
or-
pretty much. I mean, it varies. So we've already learned a number of things in the past 24 hours of starting a box. So
Like every good startup, there's a lot of
Trial and
Yeah.
error. Yeah.
So one thing is actually we didn't offer a nut-free option to begin with, but so many people asked for it. So we thankfully it's digital. So immediately we added a nut-free option to the box. But basically it's, you pay $39. Every month we'll send you a box that's worth at least $50 in product, full-size products, a lot of what's new on the market. And yeah, we've just been so surprised by the response. But I think it's, like you said, you can be overwhelmed, especially when you're just starting out. So it's a nice way to be introduced to a lot of products. And we make sure in each box, there's like a meat replacement, like a couple meat replacements. So there might be a plant-based beef kit, a no chicken broth, a snack, so like a seaweed snack and a candy, chocolate, just so you get the whole gamut of kind of what's available in a snapshot. And, we actually haven't had a lot of male customers up to this point.
Oh.
And the box introduced us to half of the orders were from men, so that was really exciting.
Wow,
That's
that's
awesome.
very unusual.
Are they buying it for their significant other?
Yeah,
or
right.
for themselves?
So I should backtrack.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day was when we started getting orders
Oh
from
yeah.
men. And it was because even after Valentine's Day, I think some of them forgot about the holiday, and the wives kind of ended them. So we get like actually orders a week after for Valentine's Day chocolates. And we always ask like, oh, how did you hear about us? And some of them were like, oh, my wife, or so it's quite funny. But yeah, so it's been great. Like I think the box has been like, I don't know exactly why people are ordering the box, but for the guys, maybe it's like easy for them to learn about the products. They can't be bothered,
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I think
also overwhelming, I think, to have like you guys have so many products. Which one should I choose? And you guys are the experts. You try them, and people trust you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's guy marketing 101. Just make it easy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, guys
Save
don't
time.
like to shop.
No.
Even though I like
Online?
to go, I like
Do
to
you
go
like
to
them?
like a supermarket and look at new products and stuff. Maybe I'm an anomaly to
You
most
are.
guys.
You're too passionate. Do you guys have frozen? Do you carry frozen products as well?
Not yet. I really want to. We're just not sure about the like storage and logistics and the
Yeah, I think we
Right.
just need to get a bit of scale with the
Yeah.
dry goods so that we can implement a cool store sort of delivery service, because it is a lot more challenging. And you need, I guess, without getting too boring, you need a level of customer base and pull through that's going to support that. We can't, it's expensive to cold store. And we just need that, I guess, customer inertia so that we know we're going to get plenty of orders and it's not going to be an issue. Whereas carrying dry goods in boxes is obviously logistically quite simple.
Right.
Carrying a lot of cold store stuff is more expensive.
Oh, right.
And just not really set up for that at the moment. But it's certainly on our radar, and we are hoping that in the future, touch wood, that we'll
That'd
be
be
supplying
nice.
everything.
Yeah, because we actually have a friend who has a vegan business here in Vancouver, and I would love to put you guys together in a way. But he likes to ship his products too, but they're frozen. That's
Yeah.
why I was asking too how you guys would handle it, and
Future
Yeah.
plan.
I
Well,
would love to put you guys in touch and then maybe
Yeah.
discuss it out.
I mean, we have thought about it, especially because of we're fortunate with the weather.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to carry some, refrigerated frozen. I'm like, we'll just put it in the car. We'll just like, we can. And Brett's always one who's like, okay, hold on a minute, like. It's fine. We'll just like live in a free, like, I don't know. I just get really excited because
Live in the
want to have
Arctic.
everything. Yeah. But yeah, that would be really awesome because there are so many great refrigerated and frozen products out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, I'm a huge ice cream fan, so I want to
Yeah.
do it.
Well then, yeah. Nice.
That'll be your future plans.
Totally, yeah.
Get into. You guys have any more future plans other than scaling up? You got,
Oh, look,
maybe start shipping to the U.S. soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of goals to set.
for sure. I've been thinking about the US and UK and Australia as well.
Nice.
So we'll see. I mean, obviously we have connections in Australia, so
Right.
I went to business school in the US, in the UK, so I have connections there as well, and they've
Oh, wow.
already been doing, like, I think asking about expanding the business out there. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of day by day, like, and I don't want to. I'm the one, even though I have all these ideas and aspirations. I'm probably the one between the two of us who is always like, okay, let's like think about this. Let's sit on it. I just don't want to like go into something and make a mistake and then upset people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing for us at the moment is to get scale, and with scale, we'll get better pricing from our suppliers, and then we'll be able to deal with cheaper pricing to the customers. And obviously, then we can introduce other things like cold stored goods, because we'll have the volume that basically makes those boring logistical issues a lot easier to deal with. But yeah, we just want to get big and obviously find one of the difficult things for us is to access product that we love. I mean, there's plenty of product out there, but accessing product that we love. And when we say we try everything and we only put on the store what we like, there's certain things that I don't like that I still think are good quality, and so does Diane, that we wouldn't necessarily eat ourselves. But that doesn't mean that it's not a greatest hits of Brett and Diane's kitchen.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's totally
Makes sense.
fine.
Yeah.
And sorry, I was just to say also, like, yeah, it's not just us tasting. We send, like, my family is constantly tasting all of our products, and we get certain things on our site because we have 3-year-old nieces or nephews, and we have like aging parents, or we have whatever. So we really get people to test it, and we're constantly asking for feedback from the family, and sometimes we receive it unsolicited, which is also very helpful. But it's we don't want to just put stuff out. Sometimes I see stuff on websites and I'm like, I know that product tastes terrible, or I see it in grocery stores. And I'm in all the vegan Facebook groups, and I know, and they review things constantly, and I know that's not a good product. And I see it in groceries, and I'm just like, that is so unfair. Like, I feel like people see it, it has like nice packaging, this and that, it's for the holidays, whatever, and I just don't think it's right.
And I guess whenever you have a newer movement or something coming through, you're always going to have that opportunistic sort of supplier or person taking advantage of what the next big thing is. But I guess the upside of that is people are actually looking at veganism or being vegan as being the next big thing. And if that means we've got to deal with a few crappy products along the way, that's probably a small price to pay, I would have thought.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, it was great talking to you guys. Where can the listeners find your products and your store?
Oh, sure. So we're at shopvegan.com, and vegan is without the A, so VEGN. We're on pretty much every social media platform there is.
Even
Facebook.
TikTok?
Yeah, on TikTok?
Oh, we're not.
We're not either.
Oh, yeah. We're not big in TikTok either.
Yeah, us neither. No time.
I have basically many already. It's so hard.
I gotta say, I haven't seen things happen on TikTok, but maybe I've just seen the wrong stuff.
There's so much. It's like
Too much.
sucks you in.
It's too
everything.
ADD for me.
Yeah,
I,
too all over.
yeah, it's too much for
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, everywhere it's pretty much at Shop Vegan is our handle, and yeah, so.
And so you guys have got a bricks and mortar store, yeah? You've
Oh.
got.
We
Did
have.
you say?
No,
Say
they-
again, sorry?
They don't.
Oh right. Sorry, I thought you mentioned you had a store.
No, a friend,
we
friend of
know a
ours.
friend that has a vegan store, well, a restaurant, but they have products there as well. And during the pandemic, he actually specialized his products, and he wants to like ship them like all over the place in a way. And I thought of you guys too, like
Yeah,
maybe
for
to
neat
connect you
products.
guys, you know, because it's about connecting other people, other vegans, you know, so we can make this movement even more powerful and bigger. You know, and I find like the pandemic is sometimes also a blessing. I can see it with you guys and with our friend we met yesterday. Like, it's a time for creativity, for improvement, and really focusing on the most important things in life to bring us further ahead.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that with you guys, you know, and you guys have time to even test the products. Like, sometimes we don't even have that much time, but with the pandemic, things slow down and we can really focus on the most important things in life that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Cooking
And,
and
yeah.
eating.
Cooking and eating. Yeah, cooking and eating and sleeping. Netflix binging.
Yeah, totally, right? So
Yeah.
great to have you guys. All the
Yeah.
best. And we can't wait.
Please,